and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Every year, there's one scoop I want everyone to tune into, and this year, it's with my guest, Andrew Rosak. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. Andrew, you're working in an area that we wish didn't have to exist, but you're preparing educators in the event that there is a crisis or a potential shooter in preschools and early childhood programs. How did you come up with this idea for a program like this?
So we started getting inquiries about, what are we going to do in the event that the worst day in the world happens to us? And as I was looking around throughout the landscape, I realized we have a lot of plans in place for colleges and universities and high schools and churches, but there really wasn't anything for the early childhood sector. So I started putting together a curriculum on what are we going to do to, first off, prevent this type of incident from happening, but then second off, if it does happen, how are we going to respond? So I put a curriculum together, and we've been traveling the country teaching the curriculum. So far we've been in 17 states, including 9 Native American tribal nations, and we've trained over 15,000 early childhood professionals on active shooter preparedness and response techniques.
And so this is not about going in and creating chaos and watching people react or overreact or make mistakes. It's really about creating a methodical plan that people can sit back, discuss, kind of run through, and then have a certain sense of confidence that they're prepared for something they hope will never happen.
Absolutely. We want early childhood folks to be taking care of the kids. That's what their bread and butter is. That's what they're good at. That's where their focus needs to be and should be. We can't expect them to be emergency preparedness experts. That's just not fair. So our courses are designed to help educate and empower individuals on what to do. We do it calmly. We do it thought-provokingly. We embrace the critical thinking skills. But at the end of the day, it's all about, how do we put yourself in that very unique situation? Because each classroom is very, very different. How do we put you in your unique situation to respond to these type of events?
I really appreciate this statement. Don't be scared, be prepared. That's really important, and it's empowering. As you said, there are certain things that people should do in those situations, and they increase their likelihood of safety if they do. So what are some of the basics, the rock bottom basics?
Well, I think we look pre-incident before we even start about the actual incident. So simple things that are low cost and you can do tomorrow, stuff like making sure you have sign in and sign out procedures. I can't tell you how many times we go to a school or a child care or a similar place and the doors are completely open and unlocked. I'm sorry, and it's sad to say, but we're past that point in our country at this time.
Right, we have to be vigilant.
Absolutely, and something as simple as locking your doors, again, that doesn't cost a lot of money to do. Other things that I see all the time is if you have a keypad at your facility, that's good, that's a step in the right direction, but a lot of times those keypads have never been changed. So the combination is always the same, it's the same for everybody. Sometimes the combination is 1234 or 4321 or the zip code of the place that we're at or the last 4 digits of the phone number.
Right.
That's just silly. We need to do better than that, and if that's the kind of security that you have at your place, gosh, I would really encourage you to change that and randomize that. You should be changing that code frequently. I would say at least once a month or once a quarter at least.
Well, some of that is from the administrative standpoint. So you're definitely helping the administrators understand better how they can protect the facility. But for the workers, the people who are in the rooms with the babies, 6, 7 months, 2 years old, I mean, that's a huge responsibility. They can't go running out the door with these children. So what do they do?
Right, so that's where kind of the traditional run, hide, fight mantra kind of falls apart. It's great for an office, it's great for a high school, it's not so great if you've got a 2-month-old in your care, right?
Right.
So our strategy here really needs to be, how do we buy time? How do we make it as difficult as possible for these bad people to get to us and to get to the kids in our care? So first off, we want to take proactive measures to mask our identity, mask our location, so we hope that the bad person walks right by and doesn't even realize that we're there. Now that's going to be pretty difficult to do in this stressful situation, and it's very hard, as you know, to make a 3-year-old suddenly, or a 3-month-old even, stop crying.
Right.
So, we also have to rely on proven techniques of barricading doors, getting ready to prepare to defend ourselves if need be, and just being prepared overall for what tools can you do, what barricades can you build to make it as difficult as possible for that person to see you and for that person to get to you.
So, and really work as a team.
Right.
so that everybody's on the same page, because that's really critical, that the frame of mind remains calm, and then they maintain as much control as they can under those circumstances. Now, you've written some books on this, and I think that's really fantastic, because not everybody gets a training course. So tell me about those.
Yeah, we're really excited. We have a 3-book series coming out. The first one will be out in early 2020, and that will be talking about this very issue, active shooter preparedness in the preschool, pre-kindergarten setting. So that'll be out in, I think, March. And then we have the next one coming on emergency preparedness basics, so what you can do to prepare and make your plans as best as you can and drill appropriately. And then the final one, I've been spending a bunch of time in the last 2 years down in the Virgin Islands in Puerto Rico working on disaster recovery ever since the hurricanes hit. So the last and final book will be about recovery and that long road. And as we sit here today, 2+ years after, there's still a lot of need down there and a lot of people that life is not back to normal. So that's the final book, talking about recovery.
Well, I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing around the country with Sesame Street, writing your books. How do people stay in touch with you so that they might be able to reach out and utilize the services that you offer?
Well, we can easily be found on our website, and that's childhoodpreparedness.org. We're also very, very active on social media, so our Facebook page is up and running, and we have all sorts of stuff on there. Every day we post stories or infographics or things that can help people, Instagram and Twitter as well. And a lot of the stuff, honestly, we just want to get the word out. So you'll find a whole host of free resources if you go to our website and check out the resource page.
Well, thank you so much, Andy Rosak, yes, for being with us today. And I hope you'll come back and let us know how things are going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And I want to thank all of you for watching this very important edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.